This is Zambia Today, a program produced by Zambia News and Information Services, ZANIS, in conjunction with the Ministry of Information and Media. Hello and welcome to the program with me, Amos Zulu, and today we are discussing youth entrepreneurship vis-a-vis drug abuse in our communities. In the studio, I am privileged to host the founder and president of Youth Life Project, Mr. Michael Nkhosi. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's good to be hosted here in your studios today. It's a rare privilege. It's something that we want to thank you especially, because we know when we are here talking about these matters affecting youth, then we know youth is getting a voice.
Just tell us who Michael Nkhosi is.
So Michael Nkhosi is this boy born from a humble background in the family of one. Actually, I'm the first and last born in our family. I was born in Kalingalinga in the year 1987. And our upbringing hasn't been very easy. It has been a tough one because we grew up in the streets of Kalingalinga selling popcorns, cigarettes, fritters, and the like. And for most part of my life, I grew up playing football. That's how come I even got a privilege of going to school, being sponsored by the EduSport family.
Okay, you are the founder and president of Youth Life Project. What is this project all about?
Pretty much, Youth Life Project to me is about my life. Youth Life Project is an inspiration that was drawn from a personal experience. When I was growing up, I never had so much sponsorship like I earlier alluded to. But the EduSport family came in, and through the skills of football, they were able to find sponsorship for me to go to school, at least up to grade 12. But now, even after grade 12, I had some opportunity to go and study industrial electronics at CBU. That was in the year 2010. Alas, that didn't happen because there was no bursary, and of course, being brought up by a single parent was not easy. Sponsorship was always a problem. So now, Youth Life Project, it's a project that was well thought after, drawing the inspiration from my personal life. In 2015, we carried a research to see how much youths are doing in our communities. And what we found out from the research was really shocking, because we realized that the youth had been neglected. And we realized that from the research that we carried, it was just a matter of time before this youth turned against the well-being in the community, before this youth turned to do something that was going to be lethal for everyone in the community. So now, as Youth Life Project, we thought, what are we going to do to give the youth back their voice? And with our research in 2015, which actually projected that by 2017, we will see a rampage in crime and child delinquency, which started coming. You agree with me that you've seen the issues of fluffies, mushrooming in almost every compound, and these are problems that are not confined to a specific area. It's not with specific area, so to say, but it has been a problem challenging us throughout the country. And how did these things come up? It's because the youths had been left out in terms of sharing the national cake. Youths didn't have opportunities, youths didn't have the necessary education, youth didn't have skills. So what did they do? Their best skills was to be at the station, maybe do some weightlifting, or just know how to intimidate. Then they get to be picking those coins in bus stops and the like. You agree with me that these are things that we've seen that even the incumbent president is trying to address. So as Youth Life Project, first of all, permit me to talk about Youth Life Project, which is where we are coming from. Youth Life Project is a non-governmental, non-partisan, and non-profit making youth-led organization It was formed in 2015 in Kalingalinga. That was prior to the research that we actually carried. So our aim is to share our accumulated experience and knowledge in identifying both strengths and weaknesses in political, social, health, and economic participation of the youth and the vulnerable also. Well, because when we say youth, with us, whether you are differently abled or you are just special in some way, you are still youth with us. And with what we do, we've not classified our youths as in those that have attained a higher education from those that actually just attend primary education up to maybe grade 7, even up to grade 3. With us, everyone is a youth and they deserve an opportunity. So what do we do as the Youth Life Project? We make sure that we give these youths a voice through skills empowerment programs. And how we do it is we bring them in our space. And in our space, we've got 4 pillars that we run with. The first one is skills empowerment program that is coupled with mentorship. The second one is sensitization programs together with sexual reproduction health. Then we also do counseling and rehabilitation. Then we offer what we call free safe space for talent development and identification. So now we use the safe space as a dangle for the youth to come in. As they come in, we are able to introduce them to our programs. So we have had a number of youth groups that have come in the space, the ones that would want to dance, the ones that would want to sing, the ones that would want to do different activities of development. What we are trying to do in all this, we are trying to make sure that we take them away from the streets. Why are we doing that? It is because it is in the streets that they are introduced to bad vices such as drug abuse and indulging in other illicit activities, which brings them to issues of early marriages, sexual abuse, and the related matters.
I'm very much interested in the research that you carried. What did you find out is more rampant in terms of the abuses in the communities?
Okay, so first things first, the research, first of all, showed us that the youth were a majority in our nation, in our population, implying that the youth were the ones that were actually poised to run the future of this nation. And our concern was this youth, which was a degrading resource, or which has been a degrading resource for quite some time, they're the ones that are poised to take over the baton of leadership in the future, but they were the most neglected category in national development and in driving of other agendas of development. So now we were able to tell that the youths actually had been left out. What has been happening is when the people are neglected, I would call it the power of the whiz. What is so common amongst the youths? They form bandos when they realize they are weak, they cannot meet 1 or 2 things. They start forming bandos, which in turn becomes gangs. And in these gangs, vices are introduced. You find them now smoking, coming up with names. This is the elephant group, or this is the YG group, this is the DWAT group. And what they do in these gangs, they start coexisting. They maybe one will introduce drugs, but for them to sustain that habit of drugs, they would need money. So now what do they start doing? They'll be found in stations, they'll be found in streets, and in turn, they're the ones that now start attacking people. It will be interesting for you to know that actually these youths, for instance, the groups that started forming across like the Fluffies, these guys even started getting so lethal because they started having weapons like pistols, weapons like tasers, which was by and large a proceed of crime, because how they even obtain these weapons is still a mystery. However, now because of their vulnerability of drug abuse, because they needed to sustain the vice of drugs, their appetite towards drugs, they were now being taken advantage of by what I would call the drug lords from all around. I wouldn't say Chibolia, because Chibolia is just one of the renowned places, but drugs are pretty much everywhere in our compounds. The bigger ones that have been dealing with drugs for long started using these youths that had nothing productive to do per se. One, conduits of distribution, on the promise of getting them into the group or in some sort of deals or employments in the drug-related circle. 2, also taking advantage of them with the aim of wanting to quench their appetite, their drug intake, and they ended up becoming junkies. They ended up wasting, because for you to be able to sustain, for instance, there is this drug that is commonly called Volo. You find that a small stick like this is costing maybe on average 15 kwacha. 15 kwacha, it's highly addictive. So for you to quench your appetite, maybe in a day you might need to smoke 6 times. You need 90 kwacha every day. But 90 kwacha every day, that's a lot of money, because it meant on average 3,000 kwacha will have to go to drugs. So it was just becoming so expensive, and this ended up multiplying the child delinquency in terms of crime rate in our communities and just around.
So in case you've just joined us, you are listening to Zambia Today with me, Amos Zulu, and today we are discussing youth entrepreneurship vis-a-vis drug abuse in our communities. And I am joined in the studio by Michael Nkhosi, who is the founder and president of Youth Life Project. How is your organization working with other institutions such as the Drug Enforcement Commission to ensure that when you identify these youths in the communities, they come to your organization and rehabilitated?
Okay, so like our vision states, our vision is to create a balanced society which is enough to support sustained development in the youth. So we are a support system by and large. What we do, we are the people on the ground. And what we do, we go around the communities, we campaign, we make sure we bring in incentives like the space that we mentioned. If we catch them by what they love doing, that's point number 1. Point number 2, some of them we just meet them on one-to-one basis. It is a typical evangelistic process that we carry out to just draw them to our space, so that we identify, as we keep on interacting, we identify their weaknesses and their strengths and what they are battling with. For instance, if they are battling with drug abuse, we involve DEC. We've worked with DEC before. The most interesting part is we bring them in the space. Then we invite professionals that are able to work with them, like in counseling and rehabilitation. We've worked with DEC before. We've also worked with REPSI. So now, going forward, what we would like to do also is to have these professionals in-house with the support of the donor funding, with the support of the community and the well-wishers. We want to be carrying all these services in-house, because we know we can do so much if we're in-house. You know, sometimes the youth and the people that are in need of these services, they don't have so much time. But when you are working with other institutions, sometimes they have other programs and maybe they are engaged with other things. So when you try to engage them, maybe to work on a particular client, you discover that maybe at that point they are not available. But that's the opportunity, that's a chance that you have with this youth. And in that regard, we are even appealing actually to the well-wishers. If we can get to do this in-house, it will be good. They can come in to support us through capacity building. We have ambassadors. And how does it work with us, with the people that we call ambassadors? What will interest you also is that the people that we are calling ambassadors, these are people that actually have gone through our system. These were once upon a time vulnerable youths. Some were drug abusers. Some were just loafing in the community. Some were just trying to do something productive, but it was not really working out. We came in, we counseled them, we gave them an opportunity to pursue skills training. And after they graduated with us in the mentorship program, and we gave them an opportunity to pursue skills training, they became our ambassadors. So these same ambassadors, some are working, some are doing businesses, and some, they're still supporting us at the offices, the secretariat, which is the Youth Life Project Center in Kamloops Road. Okay. So now these are the people that are actually available for even support staff in terms of capacity building and the like that we need. If these people can also be empowered in this area, and we would love to get them even on full-time basis, so that with the support of the well-wishers, we can be giving them something at the end of the month while they are rendering service to their community.
Would you have the statistics of how many youths have passed through your organization in terms of benefiting from your services?
Okay, so statistically speaking, the youths that have passed through our organization, in total, they are about 450. That some they've graduated, and some we are still engaging them with mentorship program.
And where do these people come from?
They come from all walks of lives and
Is it
in
just in
different
Kalingalinga?
communities. No. They actually, we've had people benefiting from as far as Matero, SOS, Chilenge, NRDC area. Of course, we are in the heart of Kalingalinga, so we have a number of Kalingalinga youths and Mtendere youths in the surrounding areas that are close to Kalingalinga benefiting. But direct sponsorship so far, because we are not funded by the donor community, that's not our strength at the moment. But we will be quick to mention that we've sponsored up to 39 students so far, 39 youths that have graduated with skills in automake, skills in food production, skills in cutting, tailoring and designing, skills in power electrical, skills in metal fabrication. So in all these courses, we've had at least 39 youths graduating.
Sure. So now that brings me to the next question. How are you sustaining yourself? I mean, you have no donor support. How are you managing financially?
So pretty much, it is not easy. We treasure the youth so much. We couldn't wait until the day that people will come and fund us. We sat down as youths. Like we had said in the preamble, it is a youth-led organization. My vice president is Birgitte Follestad Vord, is Norwegian, and we set up a system where we have created an account where we evangelize to our friends that might be willing to help us in this cause. We explain to them what we are all about and what we intend to achieve, and where we are. These are the people that will give us a 10 kwacha, these are people that will give us a $2, these are people that will give us a £1, and we keep that money. And so when we keep that money, it's because you realize that when it comes to tertiary education or skills training, usually it's twice in a year. It's during the first term, which is when the year is starting, and the other one is mid-year. So we are able to keep these funds, we save them, depending on how much we have, it is how many people are going to benefit for that skills training program. Running of the programs themselves and just being able to sustain the office requirements, it's never easy. We need to do our side hustles, our side jobs, besides the organization, to be able to sustain some of the programs. So we did deeper in our pockets. We did that because we want to inspire confidence in the donor community. Orthodoxical, we've had organizations that will start because the donors have pumped in money, but we thought of starting, and the donors will be able to look into our track record, what we've been able to do and what we are doing and what we intend to do going forward, so that if they should come, they should supplement our efforts, and they should also know that we are a people that are willing to go even a further mile.
It's about passion, right?
It's about passion.
Okay, the UPND government has come up with a new ministry, the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises. How do you wish to tap into that ministry as an organization?
We are actually, first of all, we are very much excited about this ministry. It's like they've given us another ministry of youth and child development, but in form of business. You see, we are very excited because in the first place, we are saying we aim at giving youth a voice. What will give youth a voice? When youth is skilled, youth is informed, and youth is empowered, even business-wise. Even business-wise. So now what happens is, this ministry, it is going to help us because we intentionally train our youths in skills training. Skills is not about just looking for a job. Skills is just about getting a small incentive, find a space, start running. And with this ministry in place, we feel it is a win-win situation. We feel this is our own baby that we need to support at all costs, and we pray they will attend to us with this ministry. We are looking forward to the necessary support that will give us necessary tools for our youths to be able to run with their skills and benefit, not only benefiting but also contribute to the economic aspect of the nation.
As we come to the end of the program, what is your long-term vision as an organization in terms of curbing child delinquency, child abuses, or youth abuses in the communities?
With the impact that we've had so far in our local communities, that is Kalingalinga, Mtendere, NRDC, Chilenje, Matero, we feel keeping this organization confined to such a small space is a little bit too selfish. Going forward, we want to expand to the global level, and before that, I know we want to do this first of all at the national level, so that most youths can benefit, and then going forward, we also want to put up our own training institutions, so that we shouldn't struggle with the resources of what we should pay, like how much we are paying for per student to get those skills training. You agree with me that things are on the higher side apparently. So the little resources that we are able to put up to save, they can only do so much. But going forward, with the help of the well-wishers, we want to ensure that we put up institutions, we put up youth recreational centers, and these recreational centers will at least have a research hub. They'll have at least incentives or necessary tools that will attract youths to be there and spend some time there for a better development.
Any final words?
Well, thank you so much for hosting us, and we just want to let our communities know that we are on the ground, we are working with them. We are not Satanists. Let me just end with this. You know, we've had the experiences where you have this youth coming in the space so committed, and you feel, having spoken with them, they even explained to you the situation at home, you even know this is a deserving youth. They are really keen to have their lives changed. When you go to their place, you want to give them a scholarship in skills training. We just want to let our community know out there that we want to work with the youth. We are all about the youth. We are about youth development. The reason why we are doing this, it is because we are alive to the fact that the future belongs to the youth. So a better Zambia begins with every youth. It is trapped in the hands of the youth. So for us to have a better nation going forward, it is for us to work on the better youth now. So pretty much we just want the community to embrace us and work with us.
Thanks so much, Michael.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
Okay, I have been chatting with Michael Nkhosi, the founder and president of Youth Life Project, and we were discussing youth entrepreneurship vis-a-vis drug abuses in communities. I have been your host, Amos Zulu. Remember, we are one Zambia, one nation. Bye for now. That was Zambia Today, a program produced by Zambia News and Information Services, ZANIS, in conjunction with the Ministry of Information and Media. Natubebele na bakateka